In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Jedi Knight Revan for the Black Series 6-inch line. Recently, I did review the 3 3/4 inch TVC figure of him, which is a very nice action figure. And several months ago, I did review the Darth Revan version of him. And for this Jedi Revan here, this is just a straight repaint of this Black Series Darth Revan. And it's a very nice repaint at that. There are some subtle differences. I will point them out here in a minute. But it's an action figure that deserves its own video. Not a whole lot more I can say about it than from like the Darth Revan, for example. It's just a straight repaint minus the red lightsaber. He just has the purple one instead. But Hasbro did do some modifications with the purple lightsaber here. And it's just a very nice color. It has that very vanilla looking white to him. From my understanding, this is supposed to be based upon his appearance from the Galaxy Heroes mini game that I think is like a mobile game or something like that. I've never actually played it. It's just some gimmicky game as far as I know. But I have mentioned in like this 3 3/4 inch video of him that he does show up. These are actually the Starforge robes that we see him in the end of the very first game. The only thing that's a little bit inaccurate about it is he did not wear his mask with it, and in the game he does not have his hood up. Unless you do some modifications, of course, but if you just play the vanilla game as is, that will not be an option for you. But from everything from basically the shoulders down is pretty accurate to how we see him at the end of the game there on the Starforge. And we'll just take a closer look at him. So I think Revan looks really good in this color scheme. Like I said, it's more of a vanilla white. That's the best way I can describe it. The mask is very crisp on the paint. Looks really nice. I think it's a little more cleaned up compared to his Darth Revan figure here. As you can see, the Darth Revan has a lot more scuffs and carbon scoring and things like that on it, while this one's much more cleaned up. As for the rest of his outfit, it's just a straight repaint as before. It has that nice brown on his armor there. Same with his gauntlets. Almost looks like royalty of some sorts. And for his belt here, and then his loincloth. And then his skirt is the same color as his hood, basically. And it's a little bit different, but it still has that vanilla white look to him. Then for the rest of his armors, or his shin armor and knee armor there, and his boots, it's cast in brown instead. He is a little finicky to get to stand. Darth Revan, occasionally I do have fall over, and this guy I haven't really had fall over so much because I have him in a position where even if he did try to lean forward, he's not really going to fall. But his stance is kind of wonky. His limbs are kind of soft. So just something to be wary of. And similar to the Darth Revan video I mentioned where you can't really articulate his neck very much. You can get a little bit of side-to-side motion, but that's about it. His hood's not very flexible, unlike his updated version in the TVC line. It's not very soft enough. It's kind of like a hardened plastic where it's just in place there. So you can't really use his neck articulation. You could tell he has a ball joint there, or a double hinge. I don't know if you can tell on camera there, but it does have that double hinge where if you can take the hood off, you would be able to articulate his hood a lot more. But he does have the hinged shoulders, elbows, hinged wrists, hinged torso, hinged hips, swivel thigh, double hinge at the knee, using the older style, and the rocker ankles. In terms of his weapons and accessories, he does come with close to the same purple lightsaber that came with Darth Revan. I will show the difference between them. I actually did not really realize this until recently. I figured it was just a straight repack of one another. As you can see, Hasbro did make a thicker lightsaber blade. The one on the bottom here is the one that came with Darth Revan. And the top one here is much more purple. And much more darker purple compared to the bottom one. Hilts are slightly repainted as well. Darth Revan, they included a red and green button there. This one they did too, but see, they are just slightly repainted from one another. But subtle differences. It's nice when Hasbro does stuff like that. But that's his one and only accessory. They did not include the Darth Revan lightsaber, which is fine. Would be interesting to know what the fate of Revan's lightsaber is. I'm sure it was taken by the Jedi, but wherever it went and what happened to it, I'm not too sure. Maybe that's something explained in the Old Republic a little bit more. And it fits securely in his hands there. Thankfully, he does fit pretty good on a stand. He's probably one of the best action figures I have for a stand. And here he is with all his counterparts here. Well, that's pretty much all I can tell you about Jedi Knight Revan here for the Black Series. I did get this guy when he was initially released. I think it was, what, 2019 or 20? I didn't waste no time getting him. I'm a big fan of Darth Revan, so basically any version of Revan that Hasbro makes, I'm probably going to get eventually. Did wait a little bit on the 3 3/4 inch figure here. I was trying to shop around for a deal. Unfortunately, it never really came to be, and at this point, I don't think you'll ever really go below retail price. Between both action figures here, you can see there are some differences between the two. You have the loincloth there in different colors. Just some different details here and there. Looks like Revan has some extra accessories or something on his belt for the smaller figure here. Different paint in the helmet. But there are some significant differences between the two figures. But I like them both in their own way. I can't really say, oh, you should get this one over that one. It just comes down to your personal preference, whichever one you like, or if you like them both. If you're a fan of Darth Revan, obviously he's a must-have. As far as the price is concerned for him, I'm not sure what he goes for these days. I know even at the time, I think he was a GameStop exclusive as part of the Gaming Greats line, and I did not get him through GameStop. I think I got on eBay and paid maybe just slightly above retail for him. But he's a nice action figure. If you have the Black Series Darth Revan, this is an exact copy of that with just repaint and minus the red lightsaber. It's a very nice action figure. Happy to have him in the collection. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There'll always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you have not done so already. As always, thanks for watching.